So we're gearing almost to the end of Module 1. Now, this lesson is actually quite a good lesson to learn. It's how to tune your guitar by ear, and as easy as it sounds, it really isn't. Now, strangely, one of the things you do need to do before you actually try and tune your guitar by ear is actually tune one of your strings kind of using a tuner. That might sound a bit weird, but what we call this is a reference pitch. There are many different ways of doing it. You could either get a friend to just sit there with his tuned guitar or her tuned guitar and just hit that thick open E string only, and then you twiddle your tuning peg until you hit yours at the same time until you're comfortable that your string sounds exactly the same as their thick E string. The other thing to do is you can get someone who plays a piano and knows the E note on that piano key is which one is goes with your guitar, and get them to constantly press ding 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 while you hit your string until you are comfortable and confident that your string is then tuned. Or of course, if you want to completely fast track that, you could just get your guitar tuner, one of my guitar tuners I've got, by the way, is it's like a little one that clips on the end of my guitar. It's amazing. It's absolutely awesome. Of course, you might have one probably on your mobile phone or tablet or whatever. But anyway, get your guitar tuner and just tune only your sixth string, your thick E string only. Tune that perfectly to an E. Once you've done that, we then use that as our first reference pitch. By using that one string, we can then tune the rest of our 6 strings by ear. This is how you do it. It's pretty clever, really. As you'll see in the diagram, which is kind of on the screen now, what we're doing is we're actually in territory where we haven't played yet, because beforehand we were playing across the first 4 frets. We're now going to be covering the 5th fret, as you can see there. And what you do is you place, and again this is a little bit of music theory from what we just did before. If you remember, when you placed your fingers going across, and the last you played was the 4th fret of that G, which is a G sharp. After G sharp, it then goes back to the beginning again, to an A. So if you place your index finger on the 5th fret, this is so cool, on the 5th fret of the thick E string, that is now playing an A note, okay? So that's now an A. Alright, you don't play like that, you play like that. Okay, how cool is that? So if that's an A, all you then now need to do is play your A string, and you turn your A string, turn. So by pressing your finger down on the thick E string of the 5th fret, your E string on the 5th fret, you're playing an A note, and then play the A string together. Essentially, they should sound the same. Now my guitar is already tuned, as you already know, so I'm kind of cheating a little bit here, but this is something I used to do all the time when I was learning to play the guitar, was trying to tune my guitar by ear. And now when I'm on stage in a band, or if I'm playing with friends, or even just on my own, if I hear something slightly out of tune, I'll know what to do. I'll just literally go, yeah, just fiddle around with the tuning peg until I'm satisfied, and then I'll go back to playing again. I find that so much more satisfying than getting out my tuner every time and using that. So anyway, what you do is you pick that string, the E, with your finger on the 5th fret, and the A string only, both of them at the same time. And then you go back and forth to the A tuning peg, tightening or loosening, till you're satisfied that the 2 strings sound exactly the same, both ringing out an A note. So then you follow suit exactly the same. You do exactly the same now. Your A string is now tuned. So you place your finger on the 5th fret of the A string, and that is now a D note. Okay. And what you do is you play now your A string and your open D string together, and you do exactly the same thing. You then start tightening or loosening that D string until it sounds exactly the same to what the note is ringing out on your A by pressing down the finger on the 5th fret of the A. Okay? And you do it again, this time now with your D string completely tuned in a D. And another way of testing it sometimes is to kind of just play the 3 together, make sure they sound quite nice. Then you press your finger down on the 5th fret of the D string. That That's now a G note, and you do the exact same again until the G sounds the same. Now this time, you don't press your finger down on the 5th fret of the G, because that is not a B. You should know, in working that out, that's actually a C. So what we do is we scoot our finger, you've already done this, down to the 4th fret of the G, and that now becomes the B note. So that's the only time you move your finger off that 5th fret, is to actually play. The only finger you play off the 5th fret is when you just play the G string on the 4th fret, okay? That's in a B, and then you do the exact same thing when you press the G and the B together till you tune your B string perfectly. And then you go back to the 5th fret, this time putting your index finger down on the 5th fret of the B string, which is now perfectly tuned to a B, and you hit the B and the E together until you're happy that your high, thin E string is tuned perfectly to an E. Now, as simple as I've made it look, because obviously my guitar was already tuned before, like I said before, it really does tune your ears and starts to, recognise sounds and notes and what notes should sound like on each of your string. It's a real crucial exercise. Again, you're not going to get it done overnight. You're not going to learn it in an hour. That takes quite a bit of time, if I'm going to be honest. And at first, when you try and learn, try and tune your guitar this way, it could take anything up to an hour easily. The best thing to do is tune a string. That might take 15 minutes. Have a break, walk away, get some water or whatever. Come back and do the next string, and so on. And just keep working at each string. You'll probably find yourself getting a little bit faster and more in tune and understanding, tightening, and when you're doing stuff, you get to understand a bit more the more strings you do. But the key to it is just keep doing that. Every time you want to play your guitar, you've got to spare half an hour or so. And then you realise that within time you could probably do it in a good 5 minutes until you could probably tune your guitar in a good minute or two. Maybe 2 or 3 minutes, which is amazing. So good luck with that. I hope this video here has helped.